owning the van for as long as I have now, and starting to look closer and closer at little details, I have yet to find a flaw. When I walked into the van, I literally teared up.
What is up, everybody? We're doing an amazing tour with Bob today. I had to find him at the show because we're at Adventure Van Expo right now. And I was told to come and find him. I'm so glad I did because he had his van built by one of my favorite builders in the entire country. I'm gonna have Bob actually introduce the builder. He's not here, but he's gonna say who the builder is and he's gonna get all the information. It is by far one of the nicest vans I've ever seen. I'm not kidding.
My name's Bob Anderson, and I was a ship captain previously before retiring. I spent the last 20 years as a lawyer, and this is my retirement gift. So what I wanted to do is to incorporate a maritime theme in the van. And I saw Eli, his name is Eli Ellis at AWOL Vans in Maine. Bought the van, shipped it across country with a sketchy Russian dude, and crossed my fingers. I'd never met Eli, but I saw his work and I was stunned by the quality of his craftsmanship.
He's not just in Maine. He's like deep boonies of Maine. He's out there.
He's in a town called Cushing, which is a town of like 500 people.
Yeah.
And he lives on the same property. I guess his family's been there for 5 generations.
Wow.
And he's just a super, super nice guy, but he's such a good craftsman. And I built a particular style of furniture years ago for my house called Greene Greene. It's a kind of arts and crafts. It's a wonderful aesthetic. Told Eli about that after I shipped the van, and unbeknownst to me, he was going to build this Maritime van. We knew that. But he built the whole inside like Greene Greene without telling me.
That's
so
crazy.
The best thing is, the van matches the furniture in my house, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So meticulous. Anyway, it's a 170, 2023. I was able to score the coolest.
I was going to show the plate off, but if you want me to, I will.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. How did you get that? Because that plate is ridiculous.
Well, it's a long story, but I ended up actually going down to King County with a check in hand to make sure that they locked it in. Previously had secured the name Eclipse.
Okay.
And we call this the motor vessel Eclipse, and I'll show you why. Because having gone to sea all those years, running a van is just like running a ship.
Yeah.
There's things that have to be done. There's engineering, there's navigating, there's food prep, all this, it's just like a ship. So we run it like that, and I'll show you something just coincidental or kind of funny. This here is my ship's log. And this is the real deal. This is kept like...
Look at that.
Yeah, I think everybody should do this.
That is really cool.
This is,
And
anyway.
and that's like what people do in Maritime. That's what boats do. Okay.
Yeah, so every time I go anywhere, every time I do any maintenance, every time,
It's all in the ship's log.
Yeah, we run it like a ship.
You run it like a ship. Yeah. And now it's not just you in the van.
No, it's Mary, and Mary is we call it chief steward.
Okay.
So she's in charge of keeping the van clean and food. Janice, my wife, is the chief engineer.
Okay.
When we bought the van, she literally installed the Van Compass 4.3 system herself with me running and getting tools. Grinding, making sparks and everything else. And so then we shipped it back, and I had no idea. I'd never met Eli. I'd never seen any of his work in person. And 7 months later, we went back in October and picked up the van. We were there for a couple of days hanging out with Eli and his family, and they were just terrific people.
How's that? Because it's Cushing's on the coast of Maine. So
right.
how was the coast? How was it of Maine?
Unbelievable. One evening, with like a full moon, we walked down to the ocean, and hung out. And, we partied. We had the music going in his shop like until, I don't know, midnight or after midnight. We had a great time. We started our trip there, and then we spent 3 weeks driving through New England, and then eventually headed back to Seattle. I've had it since. We use it. We go skiing in it. We camping. I've done a bunch of trips on it. I think I had about 40,000 miles on it now.
Beautiful.
And we keep it in really good shape.
Well, I got to ask, before we go into the craftsman beauty that we're about to walk into, how is it boat life versus van life?
The storms aren't as bad in the van.
Fair enough. Okay.
I've been in some rough seas, so let's put it that way.
Really?
No, yeah, I've been in some horrible stuff. I don't know. I like it. I just like the adventure. It's part of like what I did when I was going to sea. I went to sea on oceanographic research ships for years. Before I had it built, I put these notes in my neighbor's windshield wipers, these other vans that were in my neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Lo and behold, I was asking them, give me some advice. Let's get a cup of coffee. We all became really close friends, and we call ourselves the Van Bros. And this is Tim's van right here.
This is one of your Van Bros behind me here.
This is Tim Van Bros.
And we got the lovely
Janice and Mary.
Janice and Mary, the chief engineer, and the steward, right? Chief steward and Obi,
the ship's dog.
Ship's dog, yeah. So take me in. I'd love to we're gonna have to explain it. Actually, before we get in, you have a fold down table.
And this is, again, all this stuff is custom made from Eli in his shop. He has a terrific shop, and
People are going to probably ask this, but what kind of wood is that? Because that is...
this is African mahogany, also called kaya. But he's also used some cheaper forms of plywood so that they're lighter. But yeah, all the fancier woodwork here is done in African mahogany.
I'm going to call you out as you're walking in, because you guys put a flooring down.
Oh yeah.
But I'm going to show on B-roll what underneath looks like.
Sure.
You covered it up. What was the point of covering it up?
I really like this surface. It's warmer. It feels more like a home than the vinyl.
Okay.
So,
is that now an Inhabit mat? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. It is Inhabit.
Those guys did such a terrific job. What a great group of people.
Yeah.
I've recommended them to like 3 of my friends.
Inhabits, they're friends of mine. I love them.
Oh yeah.
So you guys you actually have all in the front as well.
Terrific. And it was like, I took it in about 11 o'clock. I went across the street, had a couple of beers, had a sandwich, came back, and it was done.
So I'm sorry, we keep on taking away from us going into the van. I'm so sorry.
By the way, I want to get a sip of water. Anybody want anything?
Well, you're at the refrigerator. Might as well talk about it.
Oh yeah. So the background on this van, back about 2000, 2001, I took a couple years off and apprenticed with a furniture builder who builds a style of furniture called Greene Greene, which is basically like Frank Lloyd Wright meets Asia. So it has certain curves, but it's got a sort of a prairie aesthetic. And my friend Jarrod, the guy I worked with him while building all the furniture for my house. I built a dining room set and a bunch of other tables. Anyway, while I did that, I worked with Jarrod, and I worked with him for 2 years, building furniture for my house. So when it came time to get the van, I wanted a Maritime van, and I saw online AWOL, and I was just stunned by the craftsmanship. So after a few calls, I sent it back, and he agreed he was going to build this Maritime van. What he didn't tell me was that through our conversations where he learned about my love for Greene Greene, that he would build me a Greene Greene van.
Yeah.
Which is what he did. And he took the idea of the marine concept, like this overhead, all the brass, the hardware, and he integrated things like, plugging all these.
Like that stuff's not easy to do. Now I'm gonna add, because we have a light flicker right now. Are the lights on a dimmer? My chief engineer to the rescue.
So we sent it back there, and he didn't tell me that he was going to build this in the Greene Greene style, but you can see some of these features, like in this window frame, this shadow line right here. It's a lot easier to build that in the same plane. Those types of things. These corners are they're faux pegged. They're not really pegged. But this design element here, again, this is called the cloud lift. It's right out of Greene Greene, and it's just stunning.
And that's kind of how you said your house is done. Like it's almost like a mid-century architecture, but it's like Flink Red Light, is what you said.
Well, around the turn of the century, about 1905, 1906, the Greene brothers, I think they were originally from Scotland.
Yep.
They came over and built a series of what they call the ultimate bungalows. These houses are, if you like the style of a bungalow house, just Greene Greene, Google it. Greene, and it will blow you away, the quality of the workmanship.
Yeah, I'm going to throw up some images for people to understand where I'm coming from.
Crazy. It's so beautiful.
So I actually went to school for architecture.
Okay.
So I do know that.
Down there's the Blacker House and the Gamble House, and I've toured both of those. So I have a rich history in this. And again, working with Jarrod for 2 years, building this stuff, when I walked into the van, I literally teared up. The joinery in here is so tight. If you were to be able to capture it, you could see stuff like, here, instead of this butting up, this is actually mortised in. I mean, some of the smaller little details you pick up, everything, the measurements, the angles, and like building a ship, building inside of a van, everything's not square.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, building of models and jigs in order to, before you cut your wood. But like that brace across the back, if you can see that.
That's gorgeous.
It's amazing. It's like a symphony. I love it.
So yeah, I'm going to talk. We talked a lot. I love this. We talked a lot about the aesthetics and like the craftsmanship is.
Yeah.
And by the way, just for everybody to understand, like this is all brass.
Yeah.
This is all everything in here is brass. So it's all brass fixtures, but
yeah, all marine hardware.
Yeah, it's amazing, well done. All the screws are all brass headed.
And
like it's crazy.
Perfectly aligned, perfectly situated. You can see aft.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, unless you use a chalk line, I don't know how he did it.
Owning the van for as long as I have now, and starting to look closer and closer at little details, I have yet to find a flaw. Something as silly as, like, check this out up here. And this is something I discovered a couple months ago. The ends of these boards, right?
Yeah.
Those guys would just cut that flush.
Yeah, he did
These
it right
are actually pillowed. I mean, you don't have to do that there.
You don't have to do that, he
Right?
says.
I'm
Yeah.
just like, damn, man. Every time I turn around, he does stuff better than me.
I mean, there's a reason why it took 7 months.
Yeah, and
But you were okay with waiting for 7 months.
yeah, and it wasn't just the woodwork. I mean, the engineering on this thing is phenomenal.
Sure.
You know, it's got all Victron system. We got 35 gallons of water. He's got, obviously, you've seen this.
Well, yeah, we're going to go to the back and we're going to talk about that Victron in a minute. What is that right there? Now we're going to talk more about the products themselves.
I'll show you.
Because this is one of my favorite products that's on the market.
Yeah, this is a Tetravan shower. The way it works is, it's very heavy, by the way.
Yeah.
But it has to be because you use a magnetized closure system. This drops down.
You don't have to undo the whole thing, but I think
Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
This clips up here.
Okay.
And wand shower comes out from aft and it drains directly through the deck. And no fuss, no muss. It doesn't leak a drop. It works great. You know, all these little cuts like this, these little ventilation cuts, this is all Greene Greene. You'd see that if you looked it up online.
That's crazy. Good for them.
And it's just phenomenal. I mean, the workmanship, these deadlights, they roll up and snap.
You call them deadlights.
Well, on a ship, that's what we call them.
That's what you call them on ships? That's what I was wondering. You call them, that's a deadlight.
Blocks like the porthole.
Like a shade.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's called a deadlight?
Deadlight.
That's
yeah.
fascinating to
Well,
me.
here, you know what I can show you right here?
Yes, please do. I love learning new terminology.
So these snaps, as simple as that, they come down. And I mean, even this double stitch here and all of these, it's like...
So he made that in-house?
He made all that.
Okay.
This is all
the craziness of Eli.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, he did a great job.
Beautiful.
So what, though, did you pick the layout? Was it a double galley with the seat right here? Was that your idea?
We hemmed and hawed over it, yeah.
What I appreciate about Eli, we never met him.
Yeah.
And all this was done by phone calls.
Really?
Calls, just talking to Eli. He sent us some
Any
drawings.
video calls?
No video calls.
No video calls.
But he would send us some pictures and we would look at them and talk through. So a lot was trust of him and us describing what we wanted. And we had never owned a van before, so we weren't sure what. All we knew is we needed 3 chairs.
3 seats for the 3 of us.
And then after that, it was all just talking through, you know, how high do we want the bed? What are we going to store in the storage? And there was a lot of questions. What are we going to store in the storage? And he was great. So many calls, and he just talked through each one, and you know, this is trust. So you saw this brass. I think you were pointing out.
I was pointing out the brass. Yes.
Yeah, and the same with our plug over there.
So everything in here is brass. All the fixtures are all brass. All the accents, I guess you could say.
This flips up.
Here, let me get that
So this flips up for where I'm sitting right now, which is in the passenger side swivel.
Yeah.
Wow. And now I have a place to sit and eat. And you have another table that goes on this side.
Show where that one's stored. Yeah.
I mean, you know, it stores back here, which is beautiful.
Okay, so this guy goes in here. And he's ready to rock and roll.
Now we have 3 people sitting.
There. And I'll tell you, you know, it's sitting in a ski area at night when all the cars have left and we've got, you know, a bottle of wine and some food cooking and stuff and sitting in here. This place to me is just like you said it was like a mini home, right?
Yeah, no, this is like a friggin' yacht, guys.
Yeah,
Come on, I'm not gonna lie.
And the bed is super comfortable.
I feel like I'm sailing on a 40-foot yacht right now.
I see all the other vans, you know, and they're beautiful in their own ways, but the you know, so much plastic in them. And I don't know. What I like about this one is it's like
a lot of warmth in here.
It's like an old guitar.
A lot of warmth,
you know, it's just beautiful.
An old guitar. I like that
it's
too.
Nice.
I wasn't sure how much he had covered, so I heard you talking about the Tetra. Do the dry toilet.
Yeah. The dry flush, which okay, the Lavea.
Yeah. That's
okay.
hidden in a,
Look on this side. This is where.
That's a pantry.
Yeah, the whole pantry there. We got a safe down here.
Okay.
Garbage, and toiletries and all kinds of stuff there. Kitchen cutlery and stuff here.
Which dry flush did you go with? Do you remember?
Lavea.
The Lavea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have the shower. We have the toilet. We have, you said 30 gallons of
35.
water. 35 gallons of water. You mentioned skiing. You mentioned that sort of life. So is there a heater in here?
No.
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah, the heater. I'm sorry. I thought you meant air conditioning. We go to we ski in Utah and
Okay.
Idaho.
So you get the diesel heater underneath the passenger seat, which is underneath me right now. Looking like we have 2 fans, no AC.
That's correct.
Okay. You were about to say something. You were like...
Well, that's one of those choices that we discussed with him. And again...
With the Van Bros, I was like, AC or no AC? And they're all like, no AC. And I'm thinking...
It would have added weight, so it was nice to...
And then, obviously, one of my favorite refrigerators, obviously, Eli knows what he's doing if he's the one that picked it.
He did. He was adamant about that.
You got to go with the isotherm.
There was no.
Well, that's also coming from the marine world.
Yeah.
That's a boat. Now, you were going to call this the Eclipse?
Yeah, that's a
Did you
funny
see
story.
the solar eclipse? Because I went to it up there
Well,
myself.
I went to the solar eclipse about, I don't know, 8 years ago or something. And
Not the most
down in
recent one we
Oregon.
had a couple years ago?
We named it the Eclipse. We call it the motor vessel Eclipse. And Eli did all the software MV Eclipse.
Okay.
And I don't know what that entails, but so I reserved the license plate, and that was really cool. About 8 weeks later, I got a letter from the county that said that the license plate was taken. And I was like, wait a minute, I sent in the $220, whatever. And she says, sorry. And I'm going, oh, God damn. So I'm sitting on it's the computer at the same time. And I'm just rapping. I like to do crossword puzzles. I'm a word guy. Anyway, I type in America. It says it's available. I'm like, this can't be available. So I immediately call back. And I talk to the same lady. I'm like, so is America's available? Is that available? And she says, yeah, well, technically, no. You have 6 more days before it expires. The owner has 30-day grace period to renew, and he's on day 24. I'm like, 6 days later, when that office opened up, I called.
Yeah.
Talked to the same lady, and I said, hey, I'm calling about that license plate America. And she goes, yeah, it's still available. I told her, I'm coming down there now. I have a check in my hand. Don't let anybody have that. She was laughing, and 45 minutes later, I gave her the check, and that's how I got the plate. Such a great experience of the build, and now the adventures that we're doing. And I'm getting ready to leave after the Hot Tuna concert on the 11th. I'm going to start heading back up into Canada and then back east over northern Michigan, then drop down and spend a
You going to go to UP?
Yeah.
Okay,
and then
cool.
I'll go back to Maine. I'll
Yep.
go back and visit with
Eli,
him
yep.
again.
Beautiful.
Trip, lots of fly fishing going to happen.
So I was going to say, I want 2 more things before we go outside to just look at the back. You got these 2 rods.
Yeah.
I've never fly fished in my life.
Oh.
I figured that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
And then the bed as well. So you got fly fishing rods.
Well, the nice thing here is
Okay.
that they're inside, so they're safe. They're not in those outdoor Riversmith, canisters on the roof. Janice hung these a couple of weeks ago. Streamer setup, and I can have a dry dropper and my 2 rods out when I'm done, without having to break them down and screw around and cut off the flies and fuck with it. I can just put them right back in.
That's awesome.
Down the river.
And where's your favorite spot to fly fish?
Probably Rock Creek, Montana.
I was going to say, Montana's a big fly fishing state, isn't it? Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to be there in a week and a half.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Super looking forward to it.
And then you sleep north-south. You
Yep.
sleep so that's a
We
huge
elected not
bed.
to do the bump outs, but to just do it this way, and it does work quite nice. Yeah.
Obviously, you have cooking, you have sink. I mean, that's
Yeah.
standard stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope we have that in here at this point.
The usual.
The usual.
And then, they did a bang-up job on the engineering in the back. Yeah.
What else did you see? Do you have questions about?
I don't. I'm just floored by the craftsmanship in here. But if you want to talk to me about the engineering in the back, we can do that.
Yeah. So we added, upgraded the wheels and the suspension, like I said. And then back here, this is essentially his garage area. We've moved out stuff so you can see it, but all the power's over here, the water's over here.
Now, with the beautiness of having a sort of massive bed, you have all this storage space back here.
And it's always full of shit. I mean,
Is
we've
it?
got skis and, inflatable kayak and all kinds of crap. But we actually replaced one of these panels, this one here, just so you could see in. This isn't from some company. This is just a guy.
He did a great job. I mean,
Even back here, the details, like the woodwork, again, you can see the slots over there,
yeah.
the Greene Greene stuff, the cloud lift up in the corner of that cabinet, all those pegged corners. I mean, it's so well thought out. So these up here, we put the speakers, he built a couple of plates for up there. And I said, we messed up. We should have done these.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take care of it. So I go back in Maine. He's going to put, this is going to be mahogany.
get out of town.
Just to trick it
Just
out.
because.
Just because.
And then you got the boxes here on the back as well. It looks like you have the ladder.
Yep.
You got storage box.
Basically, went through, picked all the components with him, pluses and minuses, and we don't spend any time up on the roof. We try to keep it light, again, because we've got that huge fuel tank and a good amount of water. So
Awesome. This is so beautiful.
it's
If you have any social media and you want to share it, you're more than welcome to.
okay.
But-
I probably should, I have to figure this shit out. 'Cause I have too many sea stories, man. I have so many stories from sailing all those years at sea and also being a lawyer for the last 25 years doing maritime law. I have so many funny stories. So part of this whole enterprise, and this has been pre-planned, is that my goal on this trip when I leave for a couple of months is to write.
You
I need
should.
to get away from everything I need to
Like
do.
a memoir or just a
yeah,
write?
kind of a memoir.
Okay.
And just incorporate a bunch of It's just stupid sea stories.
I
Dumb
mean,
friends
I
of
mean,
mine,
maybe that's the
stupid
title of the
shit
book right there. Stupid sea stories.
I've done. Yep, dumb shit that I've done. Because I've done enough of it.
Dumb shit on the sea.
But anyway, this is really, it's my retirement gift.
Thank you again, Bob. Appreciate everything you've
absolutely.
done, and I give Eli my best when you see him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a new build as well. I can't recall the name of it, but
Okay.
I encourage you to take a look at it. He's got about maybe 15 or 20 builds on his website. It's AWOL Adventure Van.
Yeah, next time I visit family, I should drive up and go see him.
All right.
But thank you again.
Pleasure
I
meeting you.
appreciate you. We'll see you guys next time.
Okay.